Let's face it, moving is not easy, and moving across state lines or across the country can pose quite the challenge. Thankfully, I've got 5 expert tips in today's video to make your move easy. Okay, easier. So I'd encourage you to watch today's video all the way to the end. That sounds like something you need? Kick your shoes off. Stay a while. Salutations, good people. I'm Josh. Now, while I'm specifically located in upstate South Carolina, I'm proud to say that I've helped numerous families make the move from countless states, whether it be California, Texas, Florida, or even right here in South Carolina. These tips should help you just about wherever you're at in the country. All right, so let's get started with step number 1. Plan early and plan thoroughly. It might sound cliche, but the best tool in your arsenal is planning. Once you've decided to make the move out of state, it's important to take the time to develop your plan. Do you own your current home? If so, you should start preparing to sell. If you rent your current home, you should take this time to review the terms in your lease and decide how much notice is going to be required for you to get out of there. You also need to plan for your new home. Will you be purchasing or planning on renting? Do you have employment lined up? Where are you planning on moving to in this new state? What areas exactly are you interested in living in? If you have kids, I'd encourage you to take a look at some schools you might be interested in them going to. And a really big one for me is, can you take some advanced trips for research purposes in your new area of interest? Another important question to ask yourself is, what level of support will you require when moving? Are you looking to hire everything out, or are you just looking for help with certain parts? Now, it's important to note that moving isn't cheap. As you're developing your detailed plan, be sure to write down estimated costs as you go. This will give you an idea of how much money to save while you're preparing this plan. Now, if you're receiving financial support through an employer, fantastic. If this is you, be sure to understand what's included and what isn't so that you can budget accordingly. Step number 2, don't move things you do not need. I cannot stress this one enough. Use this opportunity to take a close inventory of what you own and what you actually need. Now, in addition to getting rid of items you don't use, consider whether or not your furniture or all of your furniture will fit into your new home. It's also worth noting that some of your larger items may not be worth the cost associated to moving it to the new home. For example, if you have a pool table, it may be more of a headache to try and move it and more expense, rather than selling it and buying a new one when you arrive to your new location. Simply list items you don't need online, or just have a good old-fashioned yard sale. And then you can donate items that don't sell in a timely fashion. Now, I know this process can be tough, but it's a shame to waste precious time and resources moving items that you can't or just won't use in your new place. Step number 3, vet your movers. So we all know it's a wise decision to get quotes from 3 different service providers when you're doing just about anything. But once you get these estimates and these quotes, is the price the only thing you should be looking at? No. If there's a mover that's coming in notably less expensive than all of the others, this could be a red flag. Do your due diligence before signing the dotted line. Make sure you're talking to movers who are experienced in long-distance moves. You also want to make sure that you're looking at reviews that aren't just on the company's website that they posted themselves. Go a step further and check places like the Better Business Bureau. Lastly, make sure you're looking at the fine print when comparing movers. Make sure everything that you want and need is included, and that you fully understand the timeline for the collection and delivery of your items. The last thing you want is to be stuck in your new home without furniture for days or even weeks because you didn't read the contract. Number 4, plan for the days in between your move. This is especially important if you're selling your current home and buying your home in the new location. Based on your specific circumstance, it may be wise to stagger your closing days a few days between to accommodate for any unforeseen delays. Or if you're doing a remote closing, it may work out to close on the same day, possibly a couple hours apart. Now, doing it the first way can also provide for the movers to make their way with your stuff to the new location. Regardless, you will need to come up with a plan for the days in between. Do you want to stay in a hotel or stay with family? What items will you need to live comfortably during this period of time? Be sure to pack a little extra just in case there's some delays on the second closing or with your moving company. Now, if you're like some folks that I've helped move into the state of South Carolina, you may want to really slow move. You may want to sell your home and be clear and free from it. And a good way to do this, from what I've seen in the past, is to do kind of an extended Airbnb stay. For Airbnbs that offer it, buy a month at a time. If you need some more time, get another month. Yes, this might be a little costly at the time, but it can save you a lot of headaches in the long run if you've got the funds to be able to manage that. And heck, if you can swing it, this is a great time to plan for a quick little family vacation. What better way to kick off your new adventure in a new state than to have some fun? Number 5, update important documents as soon as possible. You don't really think about how many things are tied to your mailing address until you actually move. For those of you who have moved before, you know what I'm talking about. Take some time to get prepared. That way you're not scrambling at the last minute to update all your service providers to your new move. During this time, you have much better things to do than trying to track down important mail that went to the wrong address. Reviewing bank statements can be a nice, organized way of doing this. Now, one of the most important things to update when you move are your driver's license, vehicle registration, and pet registration. Now, the deadlines to make these various updates can differ from state to state, so you'll want to check out the local rules on that. And of course, setting up mail forwarding can be a really nice way to save a big headache. Just remember to update your address with a particular provider each time you receive a piece of forwarded mail. Hopefully, you're now ready for a smooth and successful move. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I've been honored to help and successfully close with a ton of families moving to the upstate of South Carolina. And just in case you're watching this and this is where you're looking at moving, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information will be right here. Or if you're moving to a state that's not South Carolina and you need help finding a trusted realtor, I'd be happy to help with that too. The brokerage I work for is a cloud-based brokerage, which means we are all over the country and in Canada. Until next time, I've been Josh Oglesby with Real Broker LLC and Upstate SC Living, reminding you to work hard, be kind, and do enjoy yourselves.